Why cheap food is often the most dangerous. The price. We don't see. Cheap food feels like a blessing in today's fast and expensive world. It fills stomachs, stretches tight budgets, and promises quick relief from hunger. For millions of families, cheap food is not a lifestyle choice, but a financial necessity. Yet beneath this sense of relief lies a hidden danger. What if the food that costs the least money is actually costing us the most in health, energy, mental clarity, and years of life? What if every cheap meal carries a silent biological debt that we pay later through disease, weakness, and suffering? Because behind every ultra-cheap meal exists a hidden cost, paid not in cash, but in chronic illness, hormonal damage, emotional instability, and generational health decline. This is the unsettling truth behind why cheap food is often the most dangerous food on earth. How food became cheap. For most of human history, food was never cheap. It required land, labor, time, seasons, and survival skills. Farming depended on soil health, rainfall, and patience. Cooking demanded effort, planning, and care. Every meal represented human labor and natural cycles. But industrialization transformed this relationship. Machines replaced farmers. Chemical fertilizers replaced soil regeneration. Factories replaced kitchens. Governments began subsidizing crops like corn, wheat, and soy, making processed ingredients extremely cheap. Suddenly, food production shifted from nourishing people to producing massive quantities of low-cost calories. Corporations realized that the cheaper they could make food, the more they could sell, and the higher their profits would grow. Thus began a global race, not to create healthier food, but to create cheaper, faster, and more addictive food. The illusion of affordability. Cheap food appears affordable at the checkout counter. A burger costs less than a salad. Instant noodles cost less than fresh vegetables. Sugary drinks cost less than milk or natural juices. For struggling families, these prices feel like relief. But this affordability is an illusion. The real cost of cheap food is delayed, invisible, and devastating. Cheap food is usually stripped of nutrients and loaded with sugar, refined carbohydrates, inflammatory oils, and chemical additives. It fills the stomach, but starves the body at a cellular level. Over time, this nutritional deprivation leads to fatigue, weight gain, insulin resistance, inflammation, and immune breakdown. So while cheap food saves money today, it creates massive healthcare expenses tomorrow. What appears affordable at the store becomes unaffordable in hospitals. The ingredients of cheap food. Cheap food depends on ultra-cheap ingredients designed for mass production. These include refined sugar, high-fructose corn syrup, white flour, industrial seed oils, artificial flavors, preservatives, and colorings. These substances cost almost nothing to manufacture in massive quantities. They extend shelf life, intensify flavor, increase cravings, and maximize corporate profit. But biologically, they create metabolic chaos. Refined sugar spikes blood glucose and insulin. White flour rapidly converts into sugar in the bloodstream. Seed oils disrupt cellular membranes and trigger chronic inflammation. Artificial additives interfere with hormones and gut bacteria. Cheap food is not designed to nourish. It is engineered to sell, addict, and repeat. How cheap food hijacks the brain. Cheap food is not just unhealthy, it is neurologically addictive. Food scientists carefully design flavor combinations, textures, crunch levels, sweetness, and saltiness to activate the brain's reward system. Each bite releases dopamine, the chemical responsible for pleasure, motivation, and addiction. Over time, the brain builds tolerance, demanding larger amounts for the same reward. Natural appetite signals become distorted. People stop eating when they are full and start eating when they crave stimulation. This hijacking leads to overeating, binge cycles, emotional dependence, and compulsive consumption. Children exposed to cheap, processed foods early develop lifelong addiction patterns, making escape increasingly difficult as they grow older. Why poor communities suffer the most. Cheap food disproportionately harms low-income communities. In many urban and rural areas, fresh food options are scarce. Fast food outlets, convenience stores, and ultra-processed snacks dominate local food environments. Healthy foods are either unavailable, unaffordable, or inaccessible. This creates food deserts, areas where real nutrition becomes a luxury. As a result, poorer communities suffer higher rates of obesity, diabetes, heart disease, depression, and reduced life expectancy. Cheap food deepens health inequality, creating a society where wealth determines nutritional survival. Health becomes privilege. Disease becomes destiny. The collapse of soil and nutrition. Cheap food depends on industrial farming systems that prioritize yield over soil health. Synthetic fertilizers replace natural soil regeneration. Pesticides destroy beneficial microorganisms. Monocropping strips minerals from the land. Crops grow rapidly, but nutritionally weak. Over time, soil loses its life, and food loses its nutrients. Studies reveal that modern fruits and vegetables contain up to 50% fewer vitamins and minerals than they did just decades ago. Even when people eat produce, they are often consuming nutritionally hollow food. Cheap food does not only damage human bodies, it degrades the planet that once sustained nourishment. The chemical cocktail we eat daily. Cheap food contains thousands of chemical additives that never existed in traditional human diets. Preservatives extend shelf life. Emulsifiers improve texture. Artificial flavors mimic natural taste. Colorants enhance visual appeal. These chemicals accumulate in the body, disrupting hormones, damaging gut bacteria, increasing inflammation, and potentially raising cancer risk. Their long-term effects remain largely unknown. Yet they remain legal because they are profitable. Humanity is now participating in the largest unregulated chemical experiment in history, conducted through daily meals. Convenience and emotional eating. Cheap food thrives in a world addicted to speed and convenience. It requires no cooking, minimal preparation, and little time. In stressful, modern lifestyles, convenience becomes survival. Exhaustion, anxiety, loneliness, and emotional overwhelm drive consumption. The real question is no longer why food is so cheap, but why we continue paying for it with our health, our families, and our futures. If this opened your eyes, take a second to like this video and subscribe. It helps this kind of honest content reach more people who need to hear it.